everyone to another session of PlanSuccess. Today, as usual, I have another treat for all of you. Today's treat is Morgan DiGiorgio. Morgan DiGiorgio is Senior Vice President of Sales and Marketing with our friends at DirectMail 2.0. We are in Miami, Florida. They are on the west side of Florida too. So I guess we have two Florida companies in the tech world of print. So welcome. How are you? How's everything? Is it warm? Right now we're recording this on December. It's warm there, right? Let's just make everyone else jealous.
No one's feeling sorry for us. No, the sun's
No
out,
one is, right?
a crisp 78 degrees. I could probably go for a swim at the beach if I wanted to right now.
Every time that I do one of my Zooms, everybody complains about how embarrassing it is that I have like some sort of plans going on and all green, and they're probably getting snowed on. But again, I tell everyone we're accepting good people in Florida. So that's always an option. So Morgan and DirectMail 2.0 are actually one of our sponsors for our upcoming Champion Summit in January. And we wanted to invite them because, again, they're a Florida company. They're also a tech business in the world of print, and we know how difficult that is sometimes, right? And they do something that I think is very cool, right? They along the lines of what PlanProphet has tried to be doing over the last years, which is grab something that sort of have been one way forever and try to do something different to bring automation to it. They've sort of done the same thing to a very standard product that really hasn't changed at all in the last 100 years, I would say, right? Maybe even longer than that, which is just sending mail. And they've pretty much done something cool to it. Why don't you describe it in your own words? What do you guys do with direct mail? What's so cool about it?
Sure. Yeah, so here at DirectMail 2.0, our sole purpose is to make direct mail the most effective form of marketing through the integration of cutting edge technologies. So we've taken a very, very lucrative marketing channel, which is direct mail, and we've strived to make it even better and improve it on as many fronts as possible. And so we integrate technology into mail so that we can help enhance tracking, reportability. Historically, direct mail as an offline channel has been very challenging to track. So through the integration of technology, we can prove the efficacy of mail and really keep it as a contender in the ring, which is so important with marketers wanting to move over to digital with misconceptions that it performs better or that it's more cost effective. And so a lot of times it's just because they have a challenging time tracking that attribution to the mail. But the other aspect of that is that we really showcase the powerful impact that is driven by direct mail, that tangibility, the high brand recall, how it activates centers in the brain for long-term memory. And we repeat the message that's going out in the mail through multiple digital platforms. And we deploy a full omni-channel marketing solution on top of mail and drive around a 23 to 46% lift over just a traditional standalone mail campaign.
That's sounds very complicated, but hopefully it's not as complicated to execute as you're describing it. So essentially, you grab a direct mail project and you add some cherry on top on it so that the recipients experience this direct mail in a different way. And I know a little bit about it because you've told me a little bit about your product. I've sat through one of your demos before. And I know that it has a lot to do with sort of connecting that message that they're getting in a physically printed piece with a social media targeted ad with, next time that they're visiting their favorite newspaper, they may get an ad about the same topic, right? Then you grab all this omni-channel effort and you present it in one dashboard for our customers to consume, right? Because the whole intention is that you're selling it to a printer so that they can hopefully sell it or add it as a service to their customers and make them essentially a differentiator. Is that so?
Yeah, that's it, right? It's a unique selling proposition for them. Customers that are using direct mail, unfortunately, we've encountered a lot of challenges in the industry, and essentially they've just been paying more for the exact same product, which is to deploy the mail because of postage increases or the supply chain issues. Everything was just costing more for the exact same product, which is direct mail. Now, marketers, print and mailers, they can add something of additional value. And this is a true unique selling proposition for them where they can go to a customer and they can add a lot of additional value to a direct mail campaign. They give their customers access to a real-time reporting dashboard that they have at their fingertips. And it's very sticky. And it's definitely a very valuable offering for a print and mailer.
And give them attribution, right? These big companies, especially the larger they are, they want to make sure that if they spend $1, they want to see where the dollar went. So I know your dashboards do that very well, attributing dollar spent to hopefully some sort of ROI back.
Exactly, right. Very important to them, and they have access to that, and it's tangible.
I'll ask you some more questions that I have about your platform and about your customers and how you guys do what you do. But before, I always like to take a quick pause and just go back into two things, bringing that a little more personal. First, I want to know who came up with this crazy idea of DirectMail 2.0 and why. And then I want to ask you how you came up with the crazy idea of joining DirectMail 2.0, right? So I want to learn a little bit about what's going on behind the scenes.
Sure.
Tell me, who came up with the idea of DirectMail 2.0?
Well, the idea actually of DirectMail 2.0 was from Sarah Kaczynski at Postcard Mania. So Postcard Mania is they're a marketing company, but they're a large print and mailer as well. And she's actually a marketing genius kind of, and she had this idea about really harnessing the power of mail and adding digital, but not just doing that, but offering it as a service to print mailers. And so the idea was born, and Joy Gendusa, the CEO and owner of Postcard Mania, had a really long standing relationship with Brad Kukla, our CEO. And she said, hey, listen, I've got this company that I'd like to start, and I'd like you to be the CEO. And so Erica Switzer, who's actually no longer with our organization, kind of started this company in a closet, just calling up printers and asking them, hey, do you have any interest in this? And we started to gain some traction. And I started the company, I think maybe a year and a half later. I've been with DirectMail 2.0 since the infancy stages. And from there.
How many years ago was that, Morgan?
So that was in 2018. So I'm in my
too long ago.
year. Yeah, I'm in my 6th year with DirectMail 2.0. But yeah, since the infancy stages. But actually, how I got involved in this was I'm a co-founder of a technology-based medical company, and I have a strong marketing background, and I was on the board at the PTA with Erica, and I was getting kind of bored, and I said, hey, I'm looking for a new opportunity. Let me know if you know of anyone looking for some lucrative talent. And she called me a few months later and said, actually, I'm looking. And would you be interested? And it was actually the perfect culmination.
And you had no idea about direct mail or the print world or any of that?
No, it was baptism by fire. I had a very strong marketing background and a technology background. So as far as a MarTech or an ad tech company is concerned, it was a good fit. But I was definitely I was green behind the ears as far as direct mail is concerned.
Did Bradley is the current CEO of DirectMail 2.0, correct?
Yes, correct.
Co-founder,
yes.
Pardon?
And co-founder, yeah.
And co-founder, right. Did he have any print background before this?
He did not. No, he utilized print for some of his marketing. In fact, we were on a webinar the other day, and one of our presenters, he actually used Modern Postcard to run direct mail campaigns for his previous businesses. So, yeah.
So essentially, someone had an idea that was born out of necessity. It always, I guess, all good ideas always happen the same way. And that crazy idea was, we do tons of direct mail. Let's keep enhancing the experience, and let's get it to the point that we can actually make money by creating a company and make it available to other printers out there, right? Sounds awfully familiar to the way that PlanProphet was founded too, right? So same thing, we had a need, we had a necessity. It was way too expensive to just develop it for us, so we decided let's just make a business out of it, right? And that's just, it seems to be how almost every company out there starts, with an idea, and then somebody that has the pain develops it, and then usually the next, just history, and it just keeps getting traction and traction. So, I wanted to ask you a question, generally speaking, about product use experience with your clients. Why don't you tell me, in your opinion, when somebody fails at using your products? Let's, hypothetically speaking, you sold DirectMail 2.0, you, I would say, welcomed or onboarded one of the top 100 shops in the US, and your guys are pumped about it, and you guys give it all you got. We've been in that space before, and then fast forward to 4 or 5 months, didn't really take off, right? And you're like all bummed about it. When that happens, usually it's as a result of what, in your experience?
Well, there's numerous variables that could come into play that would precipitate why they weren't successful with it. But in my experience, it's because there's not a focus on the product. I do pride ourselves on providing a lot of hands-on resources with DirectMail 2.0. There's a very nominal barrier to entry or a license fee, but we give a lot of support with that. They get a full service marketing and sales consultant. They go through hands-on training. They have access to our university. They have a partner services rep. We will get on a call with your customer, present ourselves as a extension of your organization and sell this product for you. We give you credit so that you can run your own marketing to market the product. And so it's usually a lack of a few different things. One, you're not marketing the product, or you're not even talking about the product, right? You get so wrapped up in your everyday overall operation that you just don't have a focus on the product. There might be some internal objections from sales reps where they think that certain customers don't have an interest, or they don't actually talk about it. Maybe they're fearful or not confident enough to go out and present and talk about the product. And so it's usually some of those things, they're not marketing it, they're not talking about it, and they're not trying to sell it. So
they signed up because they know that there's value. They signed up because they know that, hey, this is something that we want to do, but then life happens sometimes and they just don't see it through. And it's very annoying. It happens to the best of us.
It's frustrating, right? It's frustrating. Yeah.
And I asked you that question because, again, we deal with the same thing. Sometimes we're like, all right, this is happening. And then, gosh, they're not really focusing the way that we think they should on, especially those larger shops that we know they have clients for that, right? So
Sure.
You already made my next question is usually, what are you guys doing to, counter that? And you already mentioned it. You're even making people from your team work on their side, acting as if they're part of their team, speaking on behalf of their team just to get those leads to close it. Because I know we only really need 1 or 2 big success stories quickly so that they can pretty much consider themselves sold for life, right? But it's getting that first, second, third client using the product that we all have to fight so hard for.
Yeah.
Why don't you give me one recent success story? We don't have to mention client name, but why don't you say, you know what? It's a tough grind out there, but you know what? Recently, we've got this one client, and this is what happened with them. Let's talk about something positive now.
Yeah, I actually have something that did just recently happen, and I've actually been talking to every single one of my partners about it because it's such a good success story and such a good example of how they can really harness this platform to have success. So there's obviously revenue in going out and selling DirectMail 2.0. Okay, you're selling the digital, you're selling the tracking, and there's a revenue stream there for our resellers. But the true revenue stream or the true value prop there is that in the acquisition of new print business, right? I mean, that's where the money is. And so I have a partner that was bidding on it's a new direct mail customer, somebody that they've never done print and mail for before. And I actually also happen to know that there was a couple of our other resellers that put a bid in for the job and they did not get it, but our one reseller added DirectMail 2.0 to the bid and they acquired a new direct mail customer. It was for $1 million in business, brand new direct mail customer, direct mail, print, and DirectMail 2.0. And so if that goes well, now, of course, think about the lifetime value of that customer, right? On a monthly basis, generating $1 million in revenue from a brand new customer that you didn't have on your books, all because you're representing or you're offering something additional above and beyond the direct mail. So I've been telling every single one of my resellers about this.
What's interesting about this is that
yeah,
they may not end up using direct mail after all. Hopefully they do, but that big client may not. But just the fact that they had it in their arsenal means that it put them in a different position to win the business. And the interesting thing about it is you mentioned that there were other companies in the field bidding for the project that were already DirectMail 2.0 clients. They just decided not to mention it. They just decided to make the job as it is.
No.
And I don't know how I feel about that if I'm a direct mail 2.0 client and I lost out on $1 million bid just because I forgot to mention. And then you're calling me and brushing it in my face. Hey, I
Well,
know we're
no,
bidding for it. And I know, is that what's happening?
well, the challenge is due to confidentiality agreements, I can't call them and tell them that.
Of course,
I can
I
speak
get it.
about it, in generalities, but yes.
But please press fire, right? We have about 3 million viewers in this little session right here, right? I wish. It'll spread like wildfire. Now, so why don't we end with discussing a little bit about what you guys are going to be doing in our Champion Summit. For those of you watching that are not yet registered, I don't know when this video is going to hit. We're recording it early December. Usually it hits right before our summit, so it may be December when people get it. So by then, unfortunately, we may have closed out already the attendance to our summit. Now we're nearing that fire hazard limit where more than X number of people we have to shut down. So, but you are, one of a few companies that we invited to come to our summit, and we actually even gave you guys, a session so you could speak to our customers about your product. The main reason why we did that too is because it would be very boring if I bring PlanProphet users for 2 days, almost 9 hours a day of training, and all we do is talk about PlanProphet. They walk out of here hating PlanProphet if that would be the case. So what we like doing is we throw in a couple of complementary discussions in the mix that are not necessarily PlanProphet, right? We speak to them sometimes about sales management as a whole, business philosophies and business management. And, this year we wanted them to learn about another solution that can bring value to their shop that they can start leveraging on 2024 to reach their goals, right? And we thought, you guys being in Florida, again, we wanted to make sure that we do the best we can spreading your good word to our clients. And I still don't know what you're going to be speaking about. I'm sure it's going to be Direct Mail 2.0. But again, what can people attending our summit expect from your session in January?
Sure. So I think that historically in the industry, the only thing that's been constant is change. And I think as we progress into the future with direct mail, that there will be even more adoption of technological advances through the utilization of mail. And so what I'd like to talk about is technologies that are connecting printers to revenue and that are connecting their customers to results. And of course, some of that will be centered around doing that very simply, through the use of the Direct Mail 2.0 platform.
You do know that our customers are going to give you a little bit of a beating if they are to sign up at the show. So make sure you bring some sort of show special. All right.
Oh,
Otherwise, you're gonna get barked at. All right. Just giving you a heads up.
good heads up.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for your time, Morgan. I look forward to seeing you guys in about a month worth of time. And then let's do it again in the next few months. See how you guys are progressing here.
Amazing. Thanks, Lemay. We're looking forward to it.
Thank you. Bye-bye.